Hey everybody, it's Nicky J here, wishing you beautiful Easter celebration. Now, this is the season where a lot are being said about Christianity, and this video is an apologetic, a very brief one, just to point out something significant, right? Now, it is specifically to the narration that says that Christianity was brought to Africa to colonize and to control or to rule and all of that. I want to first make us understand something. Number one, England that colonized Nigeria was nowhere mentioned in the Bible. In fact, during the earthly ministry of Jesus, England was not in existence as a nation, right? Yeah. Humans had always been in search of a God. In fact, this is why they ended up getting gods. And I'm going to tell you this, guys. Africa was not or is not the only region that Christianity came to do a change of mode of worship. Just the way we were soaked in idolatry. That was how Europe in itself was actually soaked in idolatry until the coming of Christianity. Now, Christianity did not start in Europe. Christianity originated from the Middle East, right? We know that Christianity started in Judea, which is currently found in the present-day Israel/Palestine. So it means it's a Middle East thing, right? It is not a European thing. So just the way it was preached into Africa, that was how it was also preached into Europe. Now, if you read the book of Acts 17, you see that Paul was in Athens. He was greatly grieved when he saw that there were so many shrines in Athens. Now, we all know that Athens is the capital city of the current-day Greece. So, you see how it was in Africa, where almost every region, every homes, any town you enter, you find lots of shrines. That was how it was for Europe until the coming of Christianity. In Acts 17, Paul went through the street of Athens and he saw in a certain shrine an inscription on it saying, "To the unknown God." So it means as at that time, these people worshipped anything to the point that they did not even know what to worship again. They had to give it to the unknown God. Then Paul stood to speak to these people. He said that, "Look, I was passing through your city and I saw you inscribed in a shrine to the unknown God. I have come to proclaim that God to you." So Paul was saying that you worship what you don't know. Now I have come to tell you that God that you don't know to worship, because humans have always been in search of a God. Humans have always been in search of a God. So they ended up finding lots and lots of gods until the emergence of the knowledge of the true God, through whom we get to know the person of Christ, or rather Christ actually brought us to understand the person of whom God is. Now, what I am trying to make out in this video is that just the same way we had idol worship in Africa, that was how it was in Europe. Just the way it was preached into Africa, that was how Christianity was preached into Europe. Then it started to grow and grow. So you cannot come out to say that it was a tool that originated from Europe to control Africa, because they too received it from the Middle East. Then they decided to spread it. Now, just a little bit of digression. During the time of colonizing Africa, I'll use Nigeria as an example. The colonial masters came with religion, they came with education as well. They came with not necessarily democracy, but they came with a new system of government, right? We have always had monarchy as our major means or our major mode of, rulership, right? They came with government and a different mode of government. They came with the whole political system and all of that. How come the only problem we have with what they brought is Christianity? Not the education they brought, not the system of government they brought. In fact, if we are going to come into our contemporary world today, we practice what is known as democracy in a country like Nigeria. This is exactly what they are using to govern us today. Where is religion embedded in it? Where is Christianity embedded in democracy? No, you cannot find. So, this is a question now to those persons who say that Christianity was brought to Africa to control Africa. Give us very good examples of how Christianity today is being used by the colonial masters to control Africa. Unless you say that they used it during the time of colonization and it is no more so, then we can have further discussions. Thank you.